Hello everybody and welcome to my first YouTube video and my first review. I have been wanting and planning to do this for a while now, and I thought that it would only be righteous to start with a MAFEX Spider-Man figure. Today I'll be reviewing the MAFEX number 185 Classic Suite version Spider-Man. So let's get started. To begin with, I want to talk about the box. They decided to go with a smaller box. Other than the size, the box is pretty much what we are used to get. In the front there is the window which you can see the figure and the accessories as always, and also some artwork. And of course the name and the number of the figure. And let's get started with checking out the box from other angles as well. Starting with the front side. Next up is the back, followed by the sides. The top of the box, and then lastly the underside. And now we have our MAFEX Spider-Man out of the box without any poses or accessories, just standing there, so we can take a closer look at it. I am glad that we finally got a not so stylized Spider-Man with just the classic looks from the comics from MAFEX. My copy looks like it doesn't have any major quality control problems or anything like that. And I would say that MAFEX improved themselves with the painting, especially in the lines and in the lenses in the eye area, because the older copies I got usually had problems with paint, and that really bummed me out. And now let's take a look at the accessories. The Spider-Man comes with two interchangeable heads, which looks like they have been inspired by Todd McFarlane or Mark Bagley. Moving on with the hands, Spidey comes with a pair of fists, a pair of wall crawling hands, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of web shooting hands, a pair of hands used to hold the webs while swinging, a pair of magnetic wall crawling hands, and a pair of magnetic feet. I think that MAFEX did a really good job with the magnetic hands and the feet with this one. The figure can easily hold up on a magnetic surface with no problem. And a MAFEX stand as usual, but this time with two different clamps and 6 different web accessories. One for swinging, 4 for shooting out of the hands, 2 short, 2 long, and 1 web which is like spreading out. This is what the web effects look like when they're on the figure. And also one little piece which you can use to connect the spread out web with the stand. The articulation is pretty much the same with the older MAFEX comic Spider-Man figures. If you own any of those, you know what to expect from this one as well. So let's get started with it. You can move the head up this high. He can look down this far. Great pivot. And you can also turn his head side to side. His arms can reach out this far without the help of butterfly joints, and even further with the butterfly joints. His arms can be rotated 360 degrees. He has bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His arm can reach in this far, and it can go back about this far. He has torso movement, waist movement. He can lean forward about that far. He can reach backwards about that far, which is really good in my opinion. He can kick up this far. And with the drop down hips a little bit more. He has double jointed knees. ankle pivot, ankle swivel, thigh swivel, he has toe hinge, and lastly some wrist movement. Here is how it looks in comparison to the reissued MAFEX number 75 Spider-Man. Here it is next to the MAFEX Venom. In comparison to SH Figo Arts Advanced with Spider-Man. Amazing Yamaguchi Iron Spider. And lastly, Marvel Legends Moon Knight. Now it is time for my final thoughts about the figure. As always, this MAFEX Spider-Man is a really good Spider-Man figure. What I really like about this one is the fact that the paint is more accurate to the comics, so it will fit in with your comic figures better. Something that I'm really glad is that MAFEX fixed some of their problems with the paint jobs and gave us with this one, at least for me, a really good copy. And mine has some like really small flaws and nothing other than that, which makes me really happy because whenever you get a MAFEX figure, you generally accept some flaws. But with this figure, I think that MAFEX leveled up their game. And I especially like how they did the paint applications on the eyes. Now, beginning with the things that I don't really like about this figure, to start with, I can say that I hate the fact that it doesn't have an unmasked head or a mask accessory. When I opened the box, it really bummed me out because I didn't notice it before. Another thing I don't really like about this figure is that the blue painted parts of the figure feel kind of fragile, and I got scared while moving the parts because it feels like the paint on the blue parts will chip off over time, and it really makes me scared for the figure and nervous while messing around with it. Lastly, I don't know if this is a common thing with all of the figures, but my figure felt really stiff out of the box and it actually creaks when I move his waist. In conclusion, if I could only keep one MAFEX Spider-Man in my collection, I would definitely go for the number 75. Just because it has the unmasked head and the mask accessory makes a huge difference for me. But if you only have the option to pick this one up, I will say definitely go for it. It won't make you disappointed. It's a great figure. Or if you're a huge Spider-Man fan like me and you like collecting comic version of the characters and you have lots of comic Spider-Man figures, villains, I would say definitely go for it because this looks perfect on any comic book figure shelf. Thank you for watching the video and I hope that this review has been helpful to you. See you later.